si můžu otevřít hubu nebo ne. Jsem měl předtím kámoši splitu, vole. Ale dobrá desítka, jo? Dobrá desítka.
All right, here we go again, back on track. Sorry, it was a little bit of delay. It's a very busy day in the bowling alley. It's a lot of new bowlers arriving from all over the world. I also took a little bit of time to have some lunch in between breaks, and today we have a kind of a special event right after the second squad. We're gonna have a big party with a big buffet. We call it dinner with the pros. It's gonna be also friendly kind of competition called the Iceman Eliminator, which it's going to involve as many of the bowlers, of the amateur bowlers who want to participate. They're going to have a chance to bowl with the pros, and we're also preparing a little bit of music stuff and all over the. Yeah, it was a little bit all over the place, so it took me a little while to be back. But I don't think I haven't missed much of the action. This squad, it's a little bit lower scoring pace at the moment. We have Santu Topanainen. He's former PBA Rookie of the Year. I think it was 3 years ago. Santu is currently leading the squad with 39 pins over par, 639 after the games of 218, 216, and 205. Second place, it's going to be for Andrew Hall from United States. He's got 629, 228 on the first game, 193 on the second one, and 208 on the third one. Then we find a local Swedish, Oli Nijdam, 612. Oli began with quite a low game, 163 on game one, but he nicely recovered with games of 215 and 234. At the moment, I would say he's the one looking better because he's progressing. But as we've been telling you all week, games 3 and 4 are quite demanding. You really hit the traffic there. You start to move on the lane, and you have to really find out what goes on, what works, what doesn't work, what the bowlers who have been on that pair been doing with it before. It's gonna make a big difference. They kind of burn it from the beginning at the warm-up, then it's gonna push you so deep inside, you're gonna be a little bit in trouble, and you just want to try to save that game. Have they done the warm-up by using perhaps some urethane deep inside, try to push the oil and make it a little bit longer? Maybe then that's the pair you want to really try to score a little bit higher. And we have been watching and witnessing this kind of motion happening all over the week. People is doing a very high game, and then all of a sudden, after they switch pairs, they get into some issues. It becomes a little bit more tricky. They find a lot less room, and as we've been commenting during the week, it's quite demanding pattern. It requires a lot of focus all the time. You need to spare very well, especially when you are getting yourself into a tricky pair. You don't want to give up any pins. And for those who are following, since the previous squad, we have a new overall leader, which is Ethan Fury. He shot 1379. Second position is remaining for our guy from Malaysia, Hakim, with 1375. And it's a little bit harder on this squad. I'm not so sure someone's going to make that high, but we still have 3 games to go. For what we see, we have seen a little bit of crazy moves. It's a lot of young kids on the lanes at the moment. As you all know, they tend to have a little bit more comfort by using urethane balls and getting the surface a little bit more dull, and they get used to gripping the ball quite hardly and just produce the speed by pushing it a little bit stronger. And this pattern we are bowling on, it doesn't really give you much of a chance. You really need to be super consistent and talented in order to succeed that way. So far, the only one who has really managed to do okay by going really hard, it was Nate Purchase. But on the other hand, everyone else who has been scoring pretty high, they have been achieving that by letting the ball do the job, by weakening a little bit their wrist and weakening a little bit their release, letting the ball slide on the lane, especially try to control what the ball motion is going to be in the middle lane. We see some guys still using a pretty strong equipment with very big numbers on the course, and obviously when you have a low RG and high differential, that ball wants to reach sideways pretty soon. And since the oil is, yeah, it's 29 milliliters, but it's on the front part of the lane, not so much in the middle, not so much at the end. So the balls are really slowing down, and I believe that's the main reason why many people is having troubles to control that motion. We see a lot of people moving deeper and deeper and trying to lift the ball a little, loft it a little bit deeper inside, but it becomes a little bit tough to control. And as I was saying before, it requires to be super consistent. And the more muscles you use in your game, the harder it becomes to not only to keep the energy up, but to be consistent on that kind of movements. For me, it's very easy to explain. I would say if you go at your 100% rep rate capacity, it's not as easy to repeat and control as if you lower it down to 75% or something like that. From the bowlers on the lane, at the moment, Santu is probably the one that's letting the ball do a little bit more of the work by itself. It's not really gripping in that much. Santu has a very high speed legs, very nice power step, and yeah, he's a big guy. He's got a big arm and wrist, so he doesn't really need to do much to get the ball rolling and moving in the lanes. Also, if he's a PBA Rookie of the Year, obviously you can expect this is a very talented bowler, so that could explain why he's doing quite okay, even if the lanes are pretty tough. Again, we welcome everybody who is watching and listening. If you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. That's going to help us keep our content 100% free. It is completely free at the moment. We're hoping to keep it that way. So we ask you kindly to subscribe to the channel. And of course, since you're watching and listening, feel free to text us, ask us whatever you want to ask. And if you have any other questions, technical questions or so, just go ahead. I see Steven Salzman. How much is the entry fee? I believe it would be about 150 euros, $150 more or less, depending on the change, because we're talking Swedish crowns. So I think that the change is about that, approximately 150 euros or dollars. Okay, let's see who's doing okay at the moment. Game number 4. We have a few strikes on lane 18 by Niklas Fritz. Santu just made a triple on that same pair, 17 and 18. Andrew Hall doing okay on lane 19 and 20 with a triple and 2 spares. Andrew is sitting at the second position on this squad with 29 over. So between Andrew and Santu, everything is pretty tight at the moment. Then let's see if I can find Oli, which is the Swedish guy who's on 3rd position. Yeah, Oli is bowling on 5 and 6. And yeah, he's got 3 open frames, no strikes, all the way to frame number 7. He's got 99 on the 7th frame, so that means if he strikes out, he's going to go all the way to 189. That's going to drop him down a little bit. He needs to strike out to remain over par. Who else was over par? We had Theodore Samuelsson, son of Jonas Samuelsson, former Team Sweden, lefty, now a senior. This is his son, is also lefty, but he bowls 2 hands, a lot more rep rate than his father had. His father was really old school. It's fun to see quite a few kids who are the sons of previous bowlers that I have been bowling with during my time. For example, a couple of days ago, Raymond Johnson, he was in the bowling alley. We haven't seen each other for at least 5, 10 years, and he just came to watch his son Marcus. He's a very, very strong bowler also, plays for Pergamon. Uh, we see also the son of Tore Torgersen and Linda Haglund. Um, let's see who else. We have also on the lanes on 3 and 4, the American kid, Ernesto Reynoso. He drilled a weaker ball for this squad, but it doesn't seem that he has been having a lot of fun so far. He's fighting with it. It's a lot of people that they have the talent, they have the potential, and they do very good shots, but the traffic, it's quite inconsistent in some of the squads, and today it's proving to be quite inconsistent. It's a lot of younger bowlers, as I was trying to explain a little bit sooner. They have gotten so used to just grab the urethane and make the ball a little bit dull that it's becoming a little bit harder for them to control what goes on this kind of pattern. You really don't want to give any surface to the ball. You really don't want to get stuck into urethane. I think the only guy who can really make a urethane ball work properly in this pattern is going to be Jesper Svensson. But everyone else is going to have a hard time trying to do something with a urethane ball in the hand. Also, the PBA rule, it forces you to use a 78 hardness urethane. So obviously, if they want to use urethane, none of them can go to the purple hammer. None of them can go to pitch black. So it has to be the black hammer. It has to be IQ 78. I believe motif it's called Tank Rampash. But now I'm talking on memory because I don't really bowl for motif, so I'm not 100% sure. And yeah, I see a lot of people struggling on this squad. We have a couple of bowlers who are in the middle of the fourth game, and they hardly have 400 on the total score points. We have Mark Mates on 13 and 14. He's suffering a lot. Hopefully it's going to be a strong learning experience for him. We have the twin sisters from Denmark. They are both bowling on that squad, Sophie Nielsen and Karen Nielsen. Sophie is on quite a good game at the moment. She's got double, 4 spares and a strike on lane 15 and 16. She's bowling with a colleague from Denmark, another very talented young guy, Nicholas Carter. He has a very funny fuzzy hair that I wish I could put some of that hair in my head. I wouldn't freeze that much. Nicholas just shot quite a beautiful shot on lane 15. Let's see what else we have. Oh, Santu just missed. He had an open frame on the 9th frame and 9 miss on the 10th frame. So even him is dropping down a little bit. It's only going to be at 19 over after 4. Ernesto on 3 and 4 also is looking a little bit upset on his body language. I can understand. He's on frame 7 and he's got only 97 on the score. So not a funny moment for him. He's bowling with Karen. She started with an open frame, then it's a spare, strike, spare, and a double. We're gonna try to see what she can do on the next frame. It's funny that both Karen and Sophia are twin sisters because they're both completely different. One is lefty, the other one is right-hander. Karen is a little bit more of a follow-through, let the ball do the job. Sophie grips it a little bit more. She's moving a little bit deeper than Karen is, hooking the lane a little bit more. Oh, wow, she had a little bit deep in the head pin and another split. I feel very sorry for all these kids because they are really, really talented, but I don't believe it's their fault. And I don't believe it's their fault that they're not used to playing these conditions. I just hope that the people in the power, especially in Europe, they open up a little bit their eyes and they realize that we need to do something in order for them to, in a way, what I'm trying to say is I wouldn't like that if 5 years from now all these soft urethane balls get banished for any of the reason. And these kids have been only using that type of material for 10 years in their career. Half of them are going to quit bowling because they're not going to be able to adapt to whatever we give them later on. So if you are one of their parents or one of their coaches back in your hometown, when you get those kids back, help them visualize, help them understand they need to get better on the overall understanding of the game, help them to understand it's a lot more than just technique and throwing one ball. You need to understand about hand position, you need to be able to control your speed, increase the speed, decrease the speed, add some spin to the ball, learn to go even more behind at some points and roll it a little bit forward. Not everything is about the power, not everything is about high speed. And yeah, if you really love those kids and you want them to succeed for many, many more years, and all these kids at least have another 25 years of bowling ahead of them, help them visualize that, help them understand that, and you will be doing a great favor, not only for them, but for bowling in general. Okay, let's see who's doing good. On lane 1 and 2, Noel Torgersen is looking pretty strong on this game. He's got a double, 3 spares, and triple heading into the 9th frame. Where was he at the moment? And Noel, I don't see him on the top 20, so he had to be more than 45 below the par. And we see more of what we were seeing on the previous squads, but this time is a little bit more exaggerated. For example, I'm gonna read some of the scorings game by game by the bowlers, and you will see what I mean. 163, 215, 234, 185, 185, 220, 230, 170, 170, 220, 180, 170, 170, 160, 230. 180, 160 to 20, 180, 180, 180, 160 to 100, 190, 160 to 30, 160. So it's not any consistency. You don't see anybody doing pretty much the same score game after game. Nobody's really managing to survive, and it's hard on fresh, but depending on how they approach that fresh, it becomes even harder and harder as the day goes on and the games go forward. So this squad, I'm adventurous to say, but I think nobody's going to make the cut on this squad. It doesn't look like anybody's going to shoot 1300. I may be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, and hopefully we get surprised now on the 5th and the 6th game, which happen to be the turbo games. And hopefully someone finds a way to do like a very high game. It looks like the highest game we're going to see on at the moment is going to be 220, 235 perhaps by Noel Torgersen. And everywhere else that I'm looking, it's 180, 190, 190, 190, 150, 180, 160, 150, 180, 150, 160. Yeah. I think Christian Jonas is going to start getting some charming comments pretty soon after this squad. But on the other hand, I believe it's good that these things happen, because that should help them realize, okay, I'm very, very good at what I know what to do, but I'm not that good on this kind of a different approach into the game. So it's going to be a good waking up call for many of them, and they're going to have to realize how to function differently than they have been doing at the moment. Hold on a second. I see we have some commentaries. There we go. Steven Sussman, I'm predicting the only one player will surpass the plus 47 cut score. Yeah, it looks like that, but even if they shot 50 over, I don't think it's going to be anywhere near to make it into the final. Probably you need at least 100 over, maybe a little bit more. So even if they shoot 47 or 50 over, which is the cut at the moment, 47 up, it's not going to be enough. By the way, Steven, since you are predicting that only one ball is going to be plus 47, who do you think that's going to be? Is it going to be Andrew Hall? Is it going to be Santu? Or somebody else? Let me know. Okay, Andrew Hall spare on the 10, so he's going to go for a 210. He's going to remain over par. He's going to be on 39 over if he strikes, which is going to give him the lead of this squad due to Santos' 180 game. So he dropped down to 819. And no matter how much I try to see, I don't see any other 800 over there yet. No, I only see Santu and Andrew Hall currently on over 200 average. Okay, Andrew Hall decided to try something different on the 12 frame, but it didn't really work out so well. He's got a wash out, so he's ending with a 207 and 836 on his score. Okay, you think Chase is going to be the one shooting at least 47 over? Let me find him, because some of the scores are moving again. I need to find where he's going to move and bowl and find out what's his score at the moment. All in Edam went down to 776. Santu is now bowling on lane 1 and 2. He started with a strike. Yeah, Chase is on 3 and 4. And is bowling a 185 game. So he's currently with 795. 5 below the par. This squad is becoming pretty tough. I still believe it has to do probably with the presence of so many younger bowlers. They're not that used to this kind of pattern anymore, and it's pretty demanding. They get a little bit exhausted. If you are now watching, if you go to lane 15 and 16, you will see one of the things that's happening quite a few times. I think this is the 4th time already I see somebody just taking the 6 and the 9 pin. So that means you miss a little bit out, the ball skids way longer, and you get yourself into trouble. Yeah, you managed to spare that one. That was a good spare, because after you take the 6 and the 9 on the first frame, the first shot of the frame, is not a very happy moment. You just want to relax and take it a little bit easy. Let me see if I can refresh the total scores. There we go. We need 1 more minute. There was some bowler that was just making the 10th frame, completing the 10th frame. So I need a couple of minutes before I can refresh and find out the scores for everybody. But yeah, very good bowlers with quite a low score at the moment. So it's probably one of those squads that you are not going to be happy that you've been bowling on. Ernesto Reynoso, for example, is with 676 after 4 games. I'm sure it's not what he was expecting to see on his score, especially after he drilled a new ball to try to overcome what he's finding on the lanes. He had a very good reaction on fresh, but he was having a little bit of issues after the first couple of games. And unfortunately for him, today he's not only not working on the middle games, but he didn't start as high as he usually does. He's just shot 201 on the first game, and then he's got 159, 177. The local hero, Carl Walgren, also fighting a little bit with the lanes. He had 225, 182, 178. We'll try to find out how he's doing after those 3 games. Let me try to refresh one more time. Yeah, this game is becoming a little bit exhausting for our friend from Greece, Sophocles. On first shot of the game, he missed to the outside, and he got 2, the 6 and the 9, but he managed to spare. Now he shoots on lane 16, he misses in, and he takes the 4 and the 7 and the 8 on the other side of the lane, on the other corner. So that's a 2 spare and a 5 spare. He's probably very happy that he has managed to save both spares. But it has to be exhausting. I mean, I see this happening to a lot of bowlers at the moment when the energy starts to run on a little bit lower, and the brain doesn't want to carry on with that kind of suffering feeling that the game is becoming very hard and it's a little bit disappointing, and then you know, you kind of want to give up, but these lanes are not allowing you to give up. As soon as you lower a little bit down your focus, you get yourself into trouble very, very quickly. So let's update the scoring. Now we have Andrew Hall is the new leader of the squad with 36 over, 836, 228, 193, 208 and 207. Santtu Tavainen from Finland is on the second position, 819, 218, 216, 205, 180. I don't like what I see because it's dropping down on every game a little bit. Carl Walgren, he just moved into the 3rd place of the squad, but he's already out of par. He's 3 pins short to the par with 797, 225, 182, 178, 178 and 212. Then on the 4th place we find Chase from United States with 795. 5th is going to be Theodore Samuelsson from Sweden, 794. Then we find Yannick Ross from United States, 776. Both Oli and Carl, they are on 770 something. Nicholas Carter from Denmark, 770, and then 10th position is already dropping down to 750. So that means top 10 in this score, it's about 190 average. Noel, who just shot 224, is his first 200 game on the squad. He's been suffering a little bit, struggling with 199, 183, 145. And yeah, I see a lot of young, talented bowlers that I know from many events up here in Sweden who are really suffering. We have Felix Muller. He won the Hammer Youth last Sunday with 156, 195, 192, 203 for 746. We have Tomo, which is a guy from Slovenia, but he had moved to live up here in Helsingborg. So in a way, he's a local, but he's also struggling a little bit. 180, 167 to 10, 174. So he's down to 731. Also from the United States, we have Trevor Roberts and Eric Jones. They have 731 and 726. From Germany, Dennis Linhart, 729. So quite a low squad, quite a low scoring pace. And as I said before, it's not a lack of talent. Maybe it's a little bit of lack of vision, I would say, a little bit of, for sure, a lack of costume. They're not used to this kind of patterns. They're not used to this kind of approach into the game, this kind of different strategy. It's not about power. It's not about giving more surface to the ball. So that's probably the reason why most of these young, talented boys are and girls, they are suffering and struggling to succeed on. But as we were talking in the morning with Pontus Andersson, it's going to be a learning process. It's going to be hopefully a waking up call. Open up your eyes and see what are the things happening in bowling, what are the tools you may need to learn to control and to achieve or to add into your set of tools. What other ways to bowl the lanes you need or you're missing on your game. So far, being the way it is, unless Andrew Hall makes at least 480 on these two, no one's going to make it into the final from this squad. So the biggest chance they're going to have to succeed at any moment now it's going to be by making a very high game, either on the 5th or the 6th game, and try to achieve their spot to the final through the turbo. Turbo still at 267, both on the 5th and the 6th game. And people who may achieve that, we have Theodore Samuelsson on 17 and 18 with spare and 4 in a row. We have Emil Löfström in lanes 13 and 14 with open frame but 5-bagger. So if he strikes out, that would be a 279. And that would be the newest high turbo. And Andrew Hall is on 15 and 16, strike spare double. So he's still fighting to accomplish. So far he has been surviving on the squad. His lowest game is 193. So if he finds a couple of high games, it still could make it work. Unfortunately for Theodore in lane 17, he just got the split. So even if he spares, it's going to be, since the count is a 7, even by striking out, he would should just 267. So it's not going to make it into the turbo. Emil Löfström in 13 and 14 is made the 6th one. So he is still alive for the turbo chance. If he strikes out, it's 279. Santu on lane 1 and 2. He's got a triple to begin the game with, but then he's got a split and a couple of spares. So he's currently with 104 on the 5th frame. And we don't really see any big games anywhere else in the alley at the moment. Yeah, Theodore Samuelsson is out of the picture on the 5th game on the turbo. He's got 7-2 with that open frame, split on the 6th frame, so he has no chance to do more than 267. And the hole is doing quite good on 15 and 16. Strikes per triple, but not only the score, but he looks quite steady, quite consistent on what he's doing, so it could work for him. Let's see. Now let's see Emil making the shot on lane 13. Quite deep inside, lifting it quite deep in there. Ooh, it was almost a solid 10, but he got it down. That makes it 7 in a row. And he's still alive. He could still make the 279 and make it into the turbo. Steven says, I think Eric Jones will figure it out. Big fan of the kid. What do you think, Eric Jones? Well, he certainly has a lot of talent. That's for sure. There's no doubt about that. But I believe many of those guys are just, since the squad's not going to pay out for them, they are trying different things, different approaches, trying some different lines and areas to see if they can perhaps find something that could work on the next squad they bowl on. It's hard to say. It's hard to say because it's not only about how good you can do it and how smart you approach on the next squad that you bowl on, but unfortunately, it's a little bit of depending on who you follow as well. It's going to become a little bit easier or a little bit harder. So it's not only about you, but also a little bit about people around you on the lanes. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know where Eric is bowling now. I don't find him. Yeah, now I found him. It's on lane 5 and 6. Spare, strike, spare, 7-1, double, and split. Well, that body language tells me he's a little bit upset. For sure, he has a lot of talent. I believe he can find any of the spots, and that is not only for Eric. That is for many of the guys on the lanes at the moment. I mean, if we think about Ernesto, Noel, Carl Eklund, Santu, I don't know. It's quite a few of them that if they find a spot in which they can bowl a little bit comfortable, these guys can score really, really high. They can really get a bunch of strikes and very high series and very high games. But it feels like you need to get everything together. You need to be on the right spot. You need to have the right ball on the hands. You need to be doing the right things with it. And it's not one of those patterns that allow you to do whatever you want to do. It requires you to do what it's required. It requires you to bowl with a lot of consistency, a lot of focus, a lot of concentration. I'm getting almost tired to repeat that I don't understand why people is using such strong cover stock and strong core balls, because then the ball is reading way too early and it's forcing them to overdo so much that then it's almost impossible to repeat. And I'll say it again, except Nate Purchase, and he was amazing to witness yesterday by making very strong shots and with a lot of high speed and kind of even lifting it a little bit, lofting the ball a little bit. But everyone else that I have seen succeed on this pattern at the moment, they have been letting the ball do the job instead, and they have been bowling with a little bit of a weaker release, weaker wrist, to try to especially control the middle lane and make sure that the ball goes long enough. Um, and for sure, they have been bowling with a lot tighter angles. No one is really trying to go all around the alley, all around the lane, because it's not going to work. Now, you're going to let me talk again about Emil Löfström in lanes 13 and 14. He got a split on frame 1, 8-1, but now he's got 9 in a row. He needs one more strike to go for the 270s, which would actually put him on the first position on the turbo on game 5. At the moment is 267 for Kyle Trupp. So this is a crucial shot for Emil. Oh, not what he wanted. Even a 9 spare would have been enough, but he had 7. He left the 3-6-10. So that's going to drop the game down to 266 if he spare. He's going to be 1 pin short to the turbo. But that was a very good game, very good effort. While we see everyone else kind of suffering and crushing, the fact that he managed to do a 260 something, it says a lot. Again, as I said before, it's a bunch of very talented kids out there in the lanes at the moment. It's just the pattern is very demanding, and they have not been used to bowl in this kind of conditions for quite some time. Maybe they find this twice a year, and these kids are bowling at least 50 times a year, 50 weekends a year, and yeah, probably bowl twice, 3 more times during the week, practicing in leagues and stuff like that. So if you bowl 150 times a year and 145 or 146 are in easy patterns with a lot of room, where the only thing you do is give surface to the ball and hit it as hard as you can, when you have to do something completely different, it becomes really difficult. Now let's focus on lane 15 and 16. We have Andrew Hall, which is the current leader with 836. Is throwing down on lane 16. Is on the front of the ball return. He manages to get a pretty high flush strike. So strike 9 spare, 6 in a row. That's gonna help him go higher and higher. If he manages to strike out, it's gonna be a 280. That's gonna be not only good for the turbo, but it would put him with a score of 116 over and give him a chance to do afterwards on the 6th game another maybe 220 to 30 and secure a spot on the final. Let's see what goes on. Couple of frames to go for him. Bruce Hall says, thank you for your excellent English. Appreciate it here in the US. Well, I thank you very much. I'm trying to do my best to make myself understandable. Please apologies and excuse me if I do any mistake. Obviously, English is not my own language. I'm from Barcelona, so I use either Spanish or Catalan as my daily basis language. And also up here I speak a little bit of Swedish with some of the friends, so sometimes my brain goes a little bit blurry and starts mixing words and languages, but I truly appreciate your comment, Bruce. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see. Andrew Hall's gonna make a shot on lane 15 again. It's all the way to the 9th frame. It's gonna be very important for him if he gives himself another strike and gives himself the chance to strike out for the 280 game. Let's see what goes on. Oi. Yeah, he missed a little bit in. Not fun. Let me see. 87, 207, 27. No, 257. So the turbo, it's not going to work anymore for him. But if he spares and strike out, that's going to put him on 93 over. And he would still be quite alive to try to make it into the cut at the end of the week. If he makes another, let's say, probably 230, 240 on the 6th. We'll have to see into which pair is he gonna bowl that last. Oh no! Don't tell me you're gonna give up that spare. Ay ay ay. 51 over for him with 10 frame to go, so he would, with the triple, go all the way to 81 over, and he's gonna be by far the leader of the squad. Second position, I think it's gonna remain for Santu Debainen. He shot 210 on lane 1 and 2. He's got a triple and a double, but he's got a split on the 4th frame. And let's see if I can find someone else over par. It doesn't seem too easy to find someone over par at this squad. Yeah, Chase. Actually, I remember someone was talking about Chase a little bit sooner. Chase is was sitting with 795 after 4, but even if he had an open frame on the 9th, he got the 5-bagger, so if he makes a triple now, it's going to be at 233, and that would put him all the way out, up with 28 over. Let's see. So for those who are watching now, I would say if you really pay attention to what most of the bowlers are doing now, you see a lot of balance losing at the very last step, and that is because they are trying to produce the speed on the ball again. They are using their muscles and the arm to try to make the ball go faster. And yeah, some of them they achieve to make it go faster, but they don't achieve to make the ball go longer. And that's why it's not paying out, and that's why the scores are getting lower and lower. And well, it's not that I haven't given them an advice right before the squad. I did 30 minutes DJ music playing out there, and one of the songs I played was Smooth Operator, and I tried to say pay attention to that song because that's what you want to have later on. You want to be smooth, but I guess they didn't hear me well. Okay, Andrew Hall left the 7-pin on the 10th frame, so if he spares, it's going to be 235 for 71 over. And Santu is going to move into 5 and 6, sitting with 29 above par. And Chase is going to be the 3rd bowler above par with 18 over. So it looks like we only have 3 bowlers above the par at the moment. Yeah, another nice frame for Andrew Hall. Nice shot, 235, 71 over. Obviously, everybody still has a chance to make it into the final on this squad because we are on the 6th game, and that is a turbo game. If you manage to do a very high score, at the moment it's 267, so you need to go for at least 270 something, and that could give you a chance to make it into the final. But in overall scoring, the only one that really has a chance at the moment, it would be Andrew. So let's see what he can do on this 6th game. It's a little bit more quiet these hours in the YouTube channel. I hope that you haven't left me alone because you don't see as many strikes as we've seen in some of the other squads. Stay there, grab a cup of coffee. We still have one game to go. And for those who have not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe into our YouTube channel. We're going to have a lot of content coming during the week and even after this event with some PBA regional and some national Swedish league, which is really something you must see if you haven't seen anything yet before. A lot of talented bowlers, some of the PBA guys also coming to bowl the Swedish league. And it's a really, really terrific atmosphere, electrifying. Did you see the future? Did you see any future after touching my crystal ball?
See what?
We have the man of the hour giving a name to the tournament. Welcome, buddy. Martin Larson. It's a pleasure to have you here, buddy.
Tack så mycket kompis. Thank you very much.
Varsågod, varsågod. I guess, guys, you've been golfing during the day with the other PBA guys and having some fun. I saw Barbara was also golfing a little bit. I hope she had a lot of fun.
Unbelievable. We were out at a nice place called the Leading Air Resort, which is just outside Helsingborg. I have to say it was probably the worst weather we ever had in the golf outing at Stormark Larsen Masters.
Was it?
But it was still great.
Wow, wow, wow. Was it windy or?
No, not very windy. It's
Not
a little
so sunny.
cloudy and little bit of there was a couple of raindrops coming down.
Uh-huh, okay.
And so it was absolutely nice and great to golf in, but it's still the worst weather we had because it's been unbelievable the other years.
Shall I ask who did okay or should I skip that one?
No, you could. Actually, I was unlucky again. I don't know how I can be called lucky. I was unlucky because we were 48 players that entered the event, and in golf you try to divide everything with 4, so 48 is perfect. And I was number 49, so I thought maybe I'm just going to be the alternate. I mean, if 48 guys, somebody's going to oversleep or not show up. No, 48 showed up.
Oh my.
Yeah, so
So you've been driving the boogie around?
Actually, I tried to get some steps in instead. So I was walking around, giving high fives, giving I did hassle them a little bit and laugh at them a little bit. And,
That's good.
Yeah, I just had a good time.
So you think the guys are ready for the big show and big event we're going to have a little bit later on? I've been explaining a little bit about the big buffet we're going to have upstairs and the show we're going to have with the Iceman Eliminator. People's going to have the chance to bowl with the pros and they're going to have the chance to win some prizes and so and as I've been telling, it's a lot of things going around the main event. It's not only about the PBA title, but it's a lot of things happening around. We had some mental game seminar at the beginning of the week. I know Matt McNeil is going to be coming to do a couple of 2 more seminars on equipment and layout. Then Christian Jonas is going to do a very interesting seminar that I'm really looking forward in which he's going to talk a little bit about lane profiles and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think it's super interesting.
Yeah.
And I also heard you're going to have a very cute international DJ coming later on tonight.
Oh yeah.
Just kidding.
Get some commercial in there, Haas. No, it's you're right. It's a lot of things happening around the event, and this is a big bowling event, and it's very serious for a lot of guys. It's serious for some bowlers coming here to try it the first time. It's serious because there's a bunch of guys actually making a living out of it, and we still try to kind of break that seriousness a little bit with having some fun. Like today is a little bit different. Like a bunch of guys go out golf, but tonight it's also all about connections and having a good time. Talk with people that you maybe don't see anywhere else.
Absolutely.
Relax.
I think it's wonderful that for so many of the amateurs bowlers that they only get the chance to see those big stars on the YouTube or on the pay TV through the satellite connections. The fact that they can not only see them bowl live, but they can get the time to get to know them maybe get an autograph, take a picture with them, talk to them for a little while, and really discover how open they are and how humble and how easy it's to talk to them. I think it makes the week more than worth it. And I keep telling everybody I know, you guys have to come up here because this is a lot more than a bowling event. It's like a friendship reunion, and it's a big family of bowlers. And the only big difference is that a few of them are making their life on the sport, and the chance to get to know them better, the chance to have fun with them and get to know them, get a picture, get an autograph. I think is also inspiring. It's motivating for the especially for the younger kids. Today we had talk a little bit sooner with Pontus Andersson. He was
Hmm.
joining me on the first quad streaming.
Nice.
He explained he has come with 13 kids from the bowling school in Nässjö.
Yeah.
He has been explaining a little bit of the history of the Swedish bowling school. He told us how many world champs you guys have
Yeah.
came out
Yeah.
after being in that school.
Patrick being one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, Patrick's father, I think he was the one who started the bowling school in
I think
Nässjö,
so too. Yeah,
Christer.
yeah, he was one of them for sure. Yeah.
And my first coaches were coming from that school as well. Patrick Bowman, Thomas Leandersson. I mean, all of them have been at some point they have stepped into
Yeah.
those.
No, that Nässjö place is great for sure, and basically the one of the things that we were really keen on when we started this tournament was to try to get some great bowlers over here, because I think personally, when you see an idol or a superstar of the game, it makes you want to get there. It makes you want to um, lace up the shoes one more time, practice a little bit harder, learn more, and we really try to give the people a chance to do that here, both to see them, talk to them, maybe bowl with them, and in this case also maybe listen to some of the good ones like Matt McNeil and Chris Jonas to get to learn more, because it's a complicated game. You don't learn it. You don't become a pro in on 15 minutes
No,
or a
no,
day.
no,
It takes
no.
a long time.
It takes a very long time. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of will. You really need to put yourself into a lot of working process in technique. But the game, the game has been evolving. The way the game has been evolving, it now requires a lot more than just having a good technique.
Hmm.
It requires a full understanding of the lanes, how to read the lanes, how to adapt to whatever the traffic is causing in those lanes, instead of blaming the the lane guy
Yeah, yeah.
like we did 20 years ago when
Well,
we
we can
had no
still
no.
do that, huh?
Yeah, but now we just do it for making some fun on him. But understanding the bowling balls today, understanding for me one of the things that it's crucial nowadays. I don't know if you agree with me. It's understanding how the pin fall. If
Hmm.
you don't really understand how the pins are falling, you're never going to be sure, am I on the right angle? Am I having the right ball? You can have a perfect technique and be on the right spot on the lane in which you find some margin of error, but if you have the wrong ball in the hand, it's not going to carry as many strikes as you need.
Yeah,
And
I actually I was talking to Thomas, the guy who actually helped us a lot at Scandic Oceanhamnen, which a lot of the bowlers are staying. We got a great and a good collaboration with them, and
Mhm.
he was with us golfing, and he was out here now watching the game, and he doesn't really understand it.
Understand.
And I said it's basically like if you take a 9-iron and try to hit it 200 meters, you basically nobody could do it.
No.
And if you take the wrong ball and try to win a bowling tournament, it's basically the same thing. Like, it's almost impossible to bowl as good as it takes to win a tournament with the wrong ball, with the wrong ball reaction.
Yes. Yes.
I don't say there's only one right ball. That's not the case.
No, no.
But
No,
you
no.
need to be lined up and have some kind of close to the ideal ball to win a tournament like this.
I remember when I was a kid, we used to think about the bowling balls, which one hooks most and which one hooks less. Nowadays, when I'm coaching, I'm trying to explain them. You don't want to think in that way anymore. You want to start thinking which ball hooks the sooner and which ball hooks the latest, so you can try to understand the way they work. To give you an example, I don't want to use a ball that reads super early with a breakpoint very deep inside in the lane, because then the angle is going to be super weak and it's going to be hard to carry. On the other extreme, I don't want to have a ball that hooks super late having it too far on the outside, because then the angle is going to be super strong. And when I hit the pocket, it may strike, but as soon as I'm a little bit outside of the pocket, I'm going to leave the six pin. I'm going to leave some splits and stuff like that. So I think the idea of you guys having some seminars around the main event, especially when you have all these beautiful ideas like bringing youth team Sweden, now the school from Nässjö, for all these younger generations, the fact that you give them tools to get better knowledge, tools to understand the game a little bit better, and especially, as you said before, the motivation that it gives you to meet your idol and to see him bowling live. I remember when I was 14, 15 years old, and Thomas Leanderson, he teach me how to bowl. Not only I was trying to do what he had learned me, but I was trying to mimic his shot. I remember I managed to do the first two steps the same way he did and stuff like that. So all that extra motivation, it's crucial for you to not to get tired of what you're doing, and in order to stay motivated to grow as a bowler and learn to be better and better and learn more stuff and become more successful. So it's a very, very, very nice week. I mean, it's my favorite bowling week in the year, for sure.
I appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, it's my hardest working week of the year.
I believe so. That I can understand.
It's also my favorite week. I love it down here, the Helsingborg city, the Patrick and his crew, all the people around it. I know my name is on the tournament, but there is so many guys, including you, Louis, including Christy Jonas, including Daniel, Jonathan, all the crew in the bowling center. I don't think there's too many out there that understand how many hours we actually put down to get it here and to try to keep as many as we can happy. Of course, the scoring pace this week is going to be a little rough for a lot of people. And the one thing behind that is I really want to have different type of ball motion from year to year.
From one year to another.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't want like Jesper had a great year last year. Actually, 2 years ago he was bowling well as well, and he might do it again. Who knows? But I don't want the thing that everybody knows. Okay, I'm going to go to Helsingborg and I know I'm going to throw that ball at that arrow and it's just going to be fine. So we want to try to mix it up, and this year it's a little deeper inside and it's a little tougher, flatter. Reminds me of some of the first tournaments I had on tour when I got over there, and it was basically a slap in the face. Like, if you think you're good, and then you got out on this, if you don't throw it good, it will hurt. It will sting.
It's funny you say that, because I've been mentioning the previous games just before you arrived. I was talking about since it's so many of the young kids from the Nässjö bowling school and a few more other super talented bowlers like Carl Eklund himself and Tomo, for example, is from Slovenia, and he moved into Helsingborg. He's bowling now in Helsingborg. But I think it's going to be a kind of a wake-up call, a kind of open up your eyes to see that bowling is a lot more than we have been experiencing in the last 2 or 3 years. It's been a little bit of a current where many of the young kids they pretty much got used to use a lot of surface on the ball and just throw it a little bit harder, and because they score so high and they do so much strikes, all of them felt like that's the way bowling is played. That's the way things are happening, and that's mostly the only thing they see on the lanes lately. So the fact that they can find themselves in these kind of troubles where it requires them to think, to analyze, to adapt themselves, to see that what they usually do, it's not working anymore. On this pattern, I haven't seen anyone that has succeeded after giving some surface to the ball. Except Nate Purchase, I haven't seen anybody succeeding by throwing it harder. On the contrary, we have seen, for example, Ethan Fury and the squad in the morning, and later after the squad when I interviewed, I'd make sure to ask him, because I wanted to make sure I was right in what I was seeing on the screen, and he admitted that. He said, yesterday I was trying to loft the ball a little bit. Today I did the opposite. I tried to let the ball cross the lane. I tried to be a lot smoother in my wrist. The same thing worked for Ryan the day before, Ryan Barnes, the son of Chris. And so all these kids, or this new generation that get used to the urethane motion and grabbing the ball so hardly. The fact that they discovered that bowling can be also about letting the ball go, becoming consistent, and not give the 100% of the power, but focus a little bit more on aiming, sparing,
Yeah.
lane reading, choosing the right ball. I
No,
think it's a very, very good for them.
It's a little different way for sure, and still you look at even if this squad is kind of low scoring compared to other ones, the first couple of names: Andrew Hall, Santo, and Chase, and Theodore, and Carl, and Yannick Newell.
And Noel.
Those are good bowlers.
Oh yes, oh
They're
yes.
struggling to get the 200 average. That tells you they're pretty rough. They're not unplayable. I've seen some guys throw pretty hard. You can do that, and I've seen some guys throw pretty slow. But overall, you need to bowl good. You need to repeat, and you need to make some good decisions, and you need to shoot your spares. Other than that, you better put your name on the line to re-enter.
Absolutely. It's a big waiting list. Actually, I saw the waiting list is getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
So some
it's,
people may be getting scared, like, oh, maybe I need to bowl one more time. Let me put.
There's always problems. It's if you don't have money, it's a problem to get money. If you're rich, you got other problems. If you have if you have not enough bowlers, we got a problem because we don't fill the lanes. If we have a lot of bowlers, which is great, absolutely fantastic. But now we're gonna get into the situation where we only have 20 lanes, and we probably need 30 or 40. It's an unbelievable, great problem to have. Still a problem. I would love everybody that likes to bowl to be able to bowl. But that's just a hint that in the future, if you would like the best chance you can to bowl as much as you want in this event, you need to sign up early and get your names up there. It's becoming pretty popular, and I'm super happy about it.
The best tip we can give them is for next year, try to book some squads a little bit more in advance, so you make sure you don't run out of spots.
Yep, and I can't promise anything on the scoring pace or pattern. The only thing I can promise is it will not be the same.
I can promise you one thing: if my health allows it, next year I'm gonna bowl for sure.
There you go.
It's
Now we're gonna miss our commentator.
But I'm not. Oh, you think I'm gonna bowl that many squads? I don't have the energy. I would bowl.
So what do we have here? We have Andrew Hall at 71 over, and he is bowling on. No, he's up there on lane
11 and 12.
I haven't been commentating enough to. Yeah, 11 and 12.
He's only got one strike, one open frame, so he
needs a couple of them.
Yeah, he needs a few strikes over there. Actually,
same pair as Chase Nadeau. It's another great bowler from the US here for the first time. Actually brought his family. Lovely. I know his dad used to run some big events in Vegas back in the days when we started going there. So that's a pretty good shot right there, huh?
He's been doing quite good. It's been very good to see. Also, if you look at his score, he hasn't really fallen down in any of the games, and that tells you a lot. I mean, we have seen when I look at the scores, I see a lot of 160, 170, 140 games, which are super expensive for many of the kids over there. And one of the things I'm liking about Andrew is that he's so focused and carry on taking his spares, trying to hit the lane the right way and trying to hit the pocket over and over again.
And the thing you see with the good bowlers is, like, even if they don't really have a chance to score this squad, they're still trying things, and they're still throwing shots like it means something and try to get something out of it. There's a bunch of bowlers I've seen, like, okay, they don't have a chance, they fool around and they don't care, and they just want to get it over with.
Yeah, get it over, but then you lose you waste a great
you
opportunity to learn something for the next squads you're gonna bowl on.
If you pay the money to enter this one, and I think you should take the advantage of trying everything you have, because it's hard to practice on those conditions.
Yes.
Whatever lane takes you when you bowl in this environment and this field. So it's that's a tip to take with you. Always try something. Always try to learn something. Pick up something. But the one thing I see, like, look at the scores. There's actually no really high game. Like, I see a 230. I don't see a 240 for the whole block. So it's maybe this block started off they maybe start a little
During the
wrong.
warm-up, it was a little bit messy, I must say. I was standing out there, looking at the people doing the warm-up. I like to, because it's a little bit harder when you are on the screen. You
Yeah.
don't see exactly what balls are they using, how much or how little surface is on it.
Yep.
And so I spent a few minutes out there, and it both happened in the morning, but especially even more now in the afternoon. There was a lot of young kids. Some of them even tried to do some shots with the urethane.
Yep.
A few of them were still giving some surface to the ball right before we started, and I was like, I was scratching my ball head, telling me, I think this squad's gonna get a little bit tougher. It's gonna be even tighter than we have seen in the previous squads.
Yeah.
And
Like it maybe. There's some
yes.
really good bowlers out there, and from now on, obviously tonight we're gonna have a little bit of fun, both on the lanes and off the lanes here at Olympia Bowling. But from Thursday morning, Friday, Saturday, that I wouldn't like to say that's when the tournament really starts, but it kind of is. Like there's a bunch of squads before, but this from Thursday on, it's just bowling. It's when all the good ones really dig in. Some of them have started with a squad or two and learn something, and some of them just arriving. But then it's when it's like game on, really.
Yeah, it's gonna be gentlemen, start your engine, go for it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all the PBA guys are gonna be here. All Team Sweden's gonna be here. A bunch of Finnish bowlers, Norwegian bowlers, Danish bowlers.
We had some German guys
we
joining
have-
us at the golf course today. There's some good ones. An Italian, basically the elite field of Europe will be on the lanes, and 20 to 30 guys from the States. So I wouldn't feel too secure with any score. Well, the top 10 guys so far, I think they're good. But that's the whole thing with the early birds. To give the Swedish bowlers and the Danish bowlers that are close a little extra chance to get there, a little cheaper, and some extra spots to bowl for. But there could be a lot of changes in the scoreboard those next couple of days for sure.
So finally, we are almost reaching the end of the squad. We're gonna leave you guys pretty soon. Unfortunately, no one's gonna make it into the turbo. I remind you, it was a 267 game on the previous score, fifth game. Emil Löfström, it was so close to get a 270 game. He just left the 3610 on the 11th frame. If he had one more strike, he was already in the 270s, and he would have stepped in front of Kyle, who has 267 now on the turbo on game 5. It's also 267 on game 6 on turbo, but I don't see anybody reaching those numbers. And if we look at overall squads, I think it was only Santu and Andrew on above
Yeah, Santos
1200.
30 over, and Andrew Hall, unfortunately, is not going to have a good game. He's going to go maximum 209. It's going to take him to 80 over. That won't get him there. So, yeah, this looks to be a squad where you didn't really want to be on the lanes. It's really tough to say those things also. Like some squads turn out to be better, some is worse. Hard to find that common key why that
No,
happened.
definitely. I mean, that's the reality of bowling today. When we were kids and we bowled these hard urethane balls or even rubber balls in wooden lanes, we would move maybe 3 boards after 6 games. Nowadays, with this equipment that is so strong, you move sometimes 6 boards during the warm-up. So things happen, and that's the way it is. I think we're gonna say goodbye onto our audience, and we're gonna go out there. It's a lot of stuff coming right after.
Absolutely. Maybe time for me to go take a shower and fresh up a little bit for tonight.
You go take a shower and go out. I'm gonna go out and take an interview on Andrew because he's gonna be the leader of the squad. Let's get some information on what he felt, what he could do better, what he could do worse if he bowled before. See what he felt different happening. Oh, that was a rough, solid 7. Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone else who's been watching, thank you so much for your support. Thank you to all of those who have been subscribing to our channel. If you haven't done yet, please do so. It's still for free.
Helps us, helps bowling.
Absolutely. And Martin, thank you so much for being here, spending some time with us together. It was a pleasure to talk with you for a little while and get your perspective
Thank you
both
very
on
much,
the
Louis. And
outdoors
now you
and the
actually
event.
can show up and get your real skills at the DJ booth tonight, huh?
Yeah, now you mean I'm not that good at
Yeah, you are
talking on
unbelievable.
the on the
You're
microphone.
unbelievable with the mic. If it's in front of the DJ booth or whatever, talking about bowling, it's fantastic. It's very great to have you. We're super happy about having you here, helping us out with interviews, commentating, everything. So
It's very fun for me. It's a pleasure to be here, and I hope I can come for many, many years to come. So.
I hope so too. Everybody back home, have a good night, and we'll see you again
We'll be back
tomorrow.
Tomorrow we start 9 o'clock. First squat in the morning.
Now
Is it
you
9?
asking
10?
me tough questions. I
Well,
think it's 9 o'clock. Yeah.
I think it's 9 o'clock. I'm not 100% sure. You just go into our website and you can find out the scoring. You can buy some of the merchandise we are selling. And it's been a pleasure to be with everybody out here. Have a lot of fun. Have a good day. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.
And for you guys that has a chance to go to the bowling center, I would suggest you go practice and get lucky.
That was a good
Bye-bye.
one. Bye-bye.